Hey everyone, this is Troy Harper. Welcome to Harper Cigar Lounge. I'm so glad I could be back with you guys today. This is going to be quite the show today. I hope you'll stay with me today and hang out with your own cigar, with your own drink. I think you're in for a real treat today. This is going to be uh, maybe a little bit of an emotional show. Definitely discussing one of my biggest heroes in the show today, and it's gonna be a great one today. So make sure you stay with me, hang out, enjoy yourselves, kick back, relax. Maybe have some of your own music on in the background that you really love. Any hard rock, heavy metal music you like. Bring your own drink, bring your own smoke. Hang out with me today a little bit. This show is going to be rocking, I'm telling you. So stick around. You're not going to regret it. Before we get into everything today, this is a blend from Tim Swanson over at Cigars Daily and American Viking Cigars, which is Tim Swanson's line, as well as his grandfather Jim, or his father-in-law Jim. But anyway, so today this is what we're smoking, or what I'm smoking. Maybe if you guys have this cigar, maybe grab it and smoke it with me. But anyway, this is the Obrigado Toro 6x52. It's made by American Viking Cigars, of course. It's a boutique cigar, which boutiques are cigars that are made in smaller batches. No more than 1 million of these cigars are made a year per year. So anyway, but great things I've heard about the cigar. I've had it in my humidor for the past year or more, so I'm finally anxious to smoke this today. But Obrigado is Portuguese for thank you, and this is the first blend from Tim Swanson. Move my chair a little bit here. Anyway, so this is the first blend from Tim Swanson and his father-in-law Jim Campbell. And Tim Swanson, sir, and Jim, if you guys are watching, thank you for this blend. Another great blend of yours. I'm really excited to smoke this. So hello to you guys out there. Thanks for all your support to me, of course. But anyway, this was released as a thank you to everyone who followed Jim and Tim Swanson in the early days when they had their own brick and mortar shop. So dedicated to all the people that supported them from the beginning. Anyway, but this blend is a Nicaraguan Puro, which means it's only uses tobaccos grown, cured, fermented, and rolled in the same country of Nicaragua. So yeah, so this is a Puro, and that means definitely any cigar that is made with all the blends or with like the filler, the binder, and of course the wrapper. If it's all comes from the same country of origin, it's considered a Puro. So that's what this is today. So again, it's a 6x52 Toro, and the wrapper's Habano Oscura Luz. It's a dark Habano wrapper, nice and oily, not too veiny, feels great in my hand. The binder's Nicaragua, filler's Nicaragua, country of origin Nicaragua. So like I said, this is a Puro. All the tobacco is coming from the same country of origin. And then smoke time is around 60 to 90 minutes. Medium strength considered. Taste notes: cedar, nuts, earth, raisin sweetness to the wrapper as well. A single on Cigars Daily, of course, .com, cigarsdaily.com, where I purchased this, is around $10.09 per stick. 5-pack is $47.42. A pack of 20 is $181.62. So of course, the more you buy at once, the better you save on these. So, but anyway, it has almost a 5-star review rating as well from everyone that rated this on Cigars Daily. So that's great. I'm going to put my cigar down for a moment. But anyway, guys, I got to make sure that I got enough butane here to light this up. But anyway, how you guys doing today? Glad you're here. And unfortunately, I hate to bring up the news that this is my last episode that I'll be doing. So that's very sad for me as well. But, and actually, guys, it's not the very last episode, just the last episode for this season, too. So, if I scared you, I'm sorry. But anyway, putting some butane in my lighter here. My wonderful Xife triple flame, triple torch lighter, V-cut with a cigar rest on the back. You guys have seen this in just about every episode that I've done. I just love this lighter. My wife got it for me on Amazon. Oh gosh, 6 months to a year ago. I can't remember the exact date where she got this, but or when she got this for me. But I've had it for a little while now, and it's still doing great. Still cuts so well, lights very well. Just has the torches are all come into a tilt with each other, so that flame is peaked. And so it works great for, lighting the foot of your cigar, and works great for touching up. So I just love this lighter cigar combo, or cigar cutter lighter, 3-torch flame cigar rest combo. It's just very sturdy and heavy. I've actually dropped this a couple of times thinking, gosh, it's probably broke, and it wasn't. It's just such a sturdy lighter. And it's a gunmetal. This one's gunmetal. It's just a beautiful lighter. So anyway, that's what I'm using today. Let me moisten the cap on this. I like to do everything with my cigar. I like to moisten it, the cap. I try to remember each time to take a sniff of the wrapper. Just smells so inviting, the cigar. Wow. Love the way the cigar smells. It's just got kind of an earthy smell, barnyard kind of smell. But kind of a hay grass kind of a smell to it, but just smells really clean and fresh. Gosh, so anyway. Yeah, it just smells great. Everything about this. Wrapper tastes good. It's got a little bit of a spicy taste to it right now. We'll see what the cold draw brings me on this after I cut the cap on this. The one thing I do wish this lighter had was on the back. I wish it had a little window there maybe, or something there to trap that tobacco in there. So sometimes if I'm not doing this right over an ashtray, I'll drop a little tobacco on the ground or wherever I'm at. Other than that, I love this lighter, really do. Wow, that's an interesting cold draw. Getting some spice to it. Getting some nuttiness. Getting some spice, definitely. Gosh, almost kind of a nutmeg or a cinnamon or something kind of as well in there. Wow, I don't know. I can't explain the cold draw. It's a taste I've never had before ever with a cold draw. Wow. Tastes really good though. Gosh, like I said, some nuttiness, some earthiness, some cedar, some cinnamon and some nutmeg maybe, or something kind of, but some cooking spices maybe in there. Maybe a little red pepper. And that's something in the taste notes it doesn't mention is anything about pepper, but I'm tasting some pepper in this. Definitely getting some spice. So that cold draw is really, really tasting good. And the cigar smells really good. I am really happy with this so far. And I haven't even started smoking it yet. So anyway, but let me get this toasted up. And when I toast my cigars, I don't like to put my cigar right over my lighter. I kind of keep my cigar tilted like this, and I kind of get that flame, try to get that flame barely touching the foot so I don't scorch that foot and get a lot of burnt taste out of it. But I just try to keep my cigar rotating while I toast it. And sometimes it's easier just for me to turn my cigar a little bit here and there and maybe rotate my lighter, if anything, to get around that foot more. Almost there, I think. Okay. Give it a final light here. Yeah, it's looking really evenly toasted there. So anyway, I think we're good to go. So anyway, gosh. This is going to be quite the show today, guys. Thank you again for being here. I really hope you enjoy this show today. It's I think you got a lot of you guys out there that are fans of heavy metal, hard rock. I think you guys are going to appreciate this show today. But before we get into the main subject of this show today, let me get into some heavy metal birthdays. And start off with that. But anyway, so these are all the birthdays for June, past and future birthdays. And there's just a chock full of birthdays this month. So I'm going to have to pick and choose who I discuss. But where I'm getting my information is from loudwire.com. So if you're curious who I don't mention today for birthdays, go to loudwire.com. If you just get on the internet and just type in heavy metal birthdays June, Loudwire will come up, and then you can get on that site and scroll through all the birthdays that are coming or that are here this month, that have passed, that we've already passed, and future birthdays for this month as well as the present ones. So the whole month is listed on this site. So anyway, first one is Ronnie Wood, guitarist for the Rolling Stones, born on June 1st. He was born June 1st, 1947. He's at the age of 77. Charlie Watts, drummer for the Rolling Stones, which he died on August 24th, which is odd that he died on my brother's birthday. Hey, Grant, over in Sheridan. He died on August 24th, 2021 at the age of 80. If Charlie was alive, he would be 83 years of age. He was born on June 2nd, 1941. Kerry King, co-guitarist and songwriter for Slayer, also his new solo band, born on June 3rd, 1964 at the age of 60. He's at the age of 60 right now. Let's see here, Nickel McBrain, drummer for Iron Maiden. He was born on June 5th of 1952. He's at the age of 72. I want to mention that this is putting off a lot of great aromas in the air too. Just some great aromas of cedar and I don't know, just some nice woody kind of cedar, like almost a Spanish cedar kind of smell to the air. So it's putting off some really nice fragrances. This cigar, really good smell of the smoke, and it's just putting off a lot of smoke too. Really, a lot of great smoke. And it's already starting to build up some great ash as well. But there's a close-up of that cigar again. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. Maybe there's not as much glare going that way. Yeah, that's a little bit better. There's not as much glare going on there. So nice looking band. I love that gold gold and blue, dark blue and gold band as well. And this is a first edition cigar as well of this kind. So anyway, I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's what the cut looks like after I did the V cut today. And so there's what the cut looks like. Just tons of smoke coming off of this cigar. Wow. Really, really, really good smoke coming off of this cigar. Anyway, we'll move on here. Let's see here. Tom Araya, singer, songwriter, bass, guitars for Slayer, born on June 6, 1961. He's at the age of 63. And then let's see here. Steve Vai, guitar, songwriter, producer for David Lee Roth, Whitesnake, Alcatraz, Alice Cooper, Motorhead, Frank Zappa's. He's been involved with those other bands as well. He was born on June 6, 1960. He's at the age of 64. Let's see here. Let's see. Frank Beard, drummer for ZZ Top. He was born on June 11th, 1949. He's at the age of 75. Let's see here. Bunny Carlos, drummer, ex-drummer for Cheap Trick. He was the drummer with Cheap Trick from 1973 to 2010. He was born on June 12, 1950. He's at the age of 74. King Diamond, singer-songwriter, guitars, keyboards for Merciful Fate and King Diamond. Born on June 14th, 1956. He's at the age of 68. Let's see here. Kiko Loureiro, guitars for Megadeth. He was born on June 16th, 1972. He's at the age of 52. Let's see here. Michael Monroe, singer-songwriter, keyboards, guitars for X, Hanoi Rocks. And he's done a lot of solo. He's been doing a solo career for a while. He was born on June 17th, 1962, age of 62 right now. Paul McCartney, singer-songwriter, bass for ex-Beatles, or was the bass player for the Beatles. Wings as well, and his Paul McCartney band. He was born on June 18th, 1942. He's at the age of 82. And my buddy Oz Fox from Striper. Keep him in your prayers. He just went through some brain surgery again, getting rid of tumors that formed in his brain again. So he's taking a break from Striper right now due to his medical issues. But keep him in your prayers. But he is doing good. He's recovering well. But anyway, Oz Fox is the guitarist, co-singer of Striper. Born on June 18th, 1961. He's at the age of 63. And then Dizzy Reed, keyboards for Guns N' Roses. Born on June 18th, 1963. He's at the age of 61. Let's see here. Ann Wilson, singer-songwriter for Heart. Born on June 19th, 1950. She's at the age of 74. Brian Head Welch, guitars, singer, and songwriter for Korn. Love and Death as well. Born on June 19th, 1970, the year I was born. Age 54. So he's not much older than me. Michael Anthony, bass, vocals for Van Halen. The Circle, Chickenfoot, born on June 20th, 1954. He's at the age of 70. Joey Kramer, drummer for Aerosmith. Born on June 21st, 1950. He's at the age of 74. Definitely going to miss seeing him when me and my brother get to see Aerosmith in November. I really wish Joey could be with them. But the other drummer they've got, which I can't remember his name, he seems like he's doing pretty good. But yeah, it's going to be hard to see, not to see Joey Kramer play with Aerosmith, since I've seen him with Aerosmith before. And such a great drummer. So anyway, but again, he was born on June 21st, 1950. He's at the age of 74. Kip Winger, singer-songwriter and bass guitars for Winger. Also keyboards and guitars. Born on June 21st, 1961. He's at the age of 63. And before Kip got Winger together that he formed, he was with Alice Cooper, playing bass for Alice Cooper. If you didn't know that. Chuck Billy, let's see. Singer-songwriter for Testament, born on June 23rd, 1981. He's at the age of 43. Glenn Danzig, singer-songwriter for the Misfits, Danzig, and Sam Hain, born on June 23rd, 1965. He was at the age of 69. Randy Jackson, bass vocals for Journey, born on June 23rd, 1956. He's at the age of 68. Jeff Beck, guitars for the Yardbirds and Jeff Beck Group. He was born on June 24th, 1944. He passed away on January 10th of last year in 2023. He was at the age of 78 at the time. If he was alive, he'd be at the age of 80 right now. So anyway, Jeff Beck is definitely missed. He's definitely a legend and great guitarist that left behind a lot for us to enjoy. And so rest in peace, Jeff. And I forgot to tell you guys, wanted to mention, Charlie Watts, the drummer that was with the Beatles from the beginning. He's definitely missed as well. Yeah, Charlie Watts. I got to see him. Thank gosh, with my brother. I can't remember what year we saw the Rolling Stones, but we saw him at Mile High Stadium in Denver, Colorado, where the Denver Broncos play. Got to see them. Gosh, I want to say it was 2019 maybe that we got to see him. But it was a good show with the Rolling Stones. It was a very memorable show, and I've even been into the Rolling Stones even more since. But yeah, Charlie Watts, rest in peace as well. You're missed. Your drumming was just outstanding, and you always play on such small kits, but put so much out of it for sound. You did so much with your kit. You just had a very full sound with your kit, and so I really miss your drumming. Definitely a drummer that I've always looked up to, definitely. But almost to the end here. Don Dokken, singer, songwriter, and guitarist for Dokken, born on June 29th, 1953. He's at the age of 71. Philip H. Anselmo, singer, songwriter, and guitars for Pantera. And then last but not least, Yngwie Malmsteen, guitars for he had a band called Rising Force, and then he's had his solo career all of his life, throughout his life pretty much. He was born on June 30th, 1963. He's at the age of 61. When I used to go to school at Criteria Studios in Miami, Florida, when I used to go to Criteria Studios when I was going to school at Career Institutes of America in Miami Beach, South Beach, Florida. Would go over to Miami to Criteria Studios for my recording engineering classes at the time, and Rob Freeman was my teacher, which he's produced. He produced some of Ace Frehley's solo album from 1978. That was with Kiss. Also produced some of the and did some of the engineering as well for the Lick It Up album for Kiss. And he's done a lot of work with other artists out there, but I mentioned Kiss. That's my favorite band besides Stryper. But I remember going over there for classes, and Rob Freeman told us that Yngwie Malmsteen was recording a new album next door to us. And he tried to get permission for us to go in and kind of watch some of the session, but Yngwie Malmsteen wouldn't have it. Wasn't very nice about the idea even brought up, I guess. But anyway, so the album he was recording over there at the time was called Eclipse. And it reached the top 50 in 6 countries besides the U.S. Actually, in the U.S., it remained at number 112 on the U.S. Billboard 200 charts, and then remained on the charts for 6 weeks all across the country, in 50 countries total. So that was in 1990, and a little funny story to tell you. So again, we weren't allowed to go in and watch any of the session, but Rob Freeman got it worked out with the producer that was in the studio of Yngwie Malmsteen at the time, that we could just walk through the studio. As long as we agreed not to touch anything, we could walk through the studio and see what all was going on in the studio while he was off driving his Ferrari or whatever it was at the time, taking a break from the studio and out doing some stuff, driving around in Miami. So he let us walk through, and I got in back of the line. I made sure I was in the back of the line so he couldn't see me, but I grabbed a whole handful of his guitar picks, of Yngwie Malmsteen's guitar picks. And when we got to our bus that we were driving back into South Beach, and I passed out all these guitar picks to all the other kids, or other, well, not kids, but young adults. Passed these guitar picks out to everybody in the bus. So never did hear anything about that. So I don't know if Yngwie Malmsteen didn't notice they were gone, but his producer that was in the studio told us not to touch anything because he knows where everything's at. He'll know if everything's gotten moved or anything. So anyway, but never heard anything, never was talked to about it, so nothing was ever said, obviously. Because I heard Yngwie Malmsteen had a temper at the time, and Harry still does. Harry's not real, I don't know, I've heard, that he's not the nicest guy, but I don't know. I've never met him, so I can't say that for sure. But he had just, I don't know, he must have had 30, 40 some guitars on guitar stands all throughout that studio. So he used a lot of different guitars for that album that he was recording. So I'll never forget that. And then also in that time frame of when we were doing our classes, this is over a year's worth of time doing classes at Criteria Studios, which is still up and running, still a very famous studio. So if you guys are ever in Miami, Florida, maybe stop over there and see if you can take a tour of it. But still being used, is still considered one of the most famous studios. Tons and tons of albums have been recorded there, tons. It'd take me all day to list all the groups and albums that have been, recorded there, and the groups that have been there to record. So, but check it out if you ever get a chance to go over to Miami. Check out that studio. But Elton John was recording an album when we were down there, as well as Julio Iglesias, a Latin singer. He was doing a album as well in one of the studios. So we never did get to meet any of those guys, but it was cool that we were having classes in Criteria Studios while these other big named artists were doing, creating albums at the time. So that was pretty cool, I thought. So anyway, I'm going to give my cigar just a touch up here. Anyway, that's it for the birthdays for June. But yeah, check out, go to loudwire.com. And, or let's see, is it loudwire? No, yeah, loudwire.com. And definitely check out who I didn't mention. There's a lot of artists I didn't mention that really didn't pertain to heavy metal. There was a couple that did, but I just wanted to try and get through that list as quick as I could. So a lot of birthdays in June, a lot of birthdays. So anyway, had to get through that list so I can get to the music news. Thought I'd touch my cigar up just a hair. It's really not doing anything wrong, but I thought I would touch up anyway. Try to keep this going and doing well so while I talk. God, getting a really strong cedar smell right now. So it smells really good. Smells really good. Smells like I'm in like a cedar shop or something where they cut cedar or cut wood. Like you would if you're in a cedar like a workshop or something, where they maybe manufacture cedar. But yeah, really good smell. It's still producing a lot of great smoke. So anyway, I just dropped my ash. Oh gosh, I had a feeling that might happen, but no harm done. But anyway. And of course, me dropping ashes during this podcast, Harper Cigar Lounge podcast, is where it gave me the idea to start up a second podcast called Dropping the Ash Podcast. So, but for some reason, I drop them more in this podcast than I do in the Dropping the Ash podcast for some reason. I've been trying to drop more ashes in the other podcast for you guys as well. So anyway, but that's where the idea came from. It was always kind of a joke, something I always laughed about during this podcast, me dropping ashes. Um, and again, I dropped an ash. So anyway, for all you guys that have been watching this podcast and dropping the ash podcast, thank you for all your support, for hanging out and leaving your comments, leaving your feedback. For all of you that joined my YouTube channel under Harper Cigar Lounge, and for all of you guys that have joined my Facebook group page on Facebook under Harper Cigar Lounge, thank you for all your support, and it means the world to me. I love all of you guys. You guys are always in my prayers and my thoughts. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here. And just want to remind you guys, as much as I need your support on YouTube, I need more followers on YouTube. I'm not being paid by any companies, any cigar companies or any music companies, or I'm not being sponsored in any way. No one's donating any money to me. No one's really doing anything like that. I have gotten some free cigars, or I have gotten some cigars and I'll mention their names here in a little bit, but I have received some nice gifts, some cigars to try and everything that, from different people that are in the cigar business. But that's all I've ever really received, that I haven't had to pay for. But anyway, thank you to you guys. I'll mention your names here in a little bit. But as far as anything that I've received that I haven't had to pay for, it's just been some cigars here and there. Other than that, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not being sponsored by anybody. So I'm doing this out of my own passion, doing it because I love doing it. It's a great hobby. I love the lifestyle of it. I'm passionate about the whole cigar lifestyle, and I definitely try to show as much support I can to any local cigar brick and mortar shops or cigar lounges. And if you guys are ever in Campbell, Nebraska, make sure you come see me at my grocery store, Main Street Market. I do sell premium cigars there. I got around 42 different premium cigars that I sell in my cabinet, and they are all humidified. I keep them at the right temps, around 63 to 65 at the most. And I check them regularly, so I make sure they're in great shape for you guys when you buy them. Haven't had any complaints yet from all my customers. They've all been very happy with my cigars that I sell. I'm hoping down the road someday that I will have my own cigar, or my own line of cigars or something. I think that would be wonderful. It's a dream of mine to finally have that. And so hopefully down the road that'll happen for me still. So I've got a great name in mind that I love if I ever do get my own cigars. My wife doesn't like it as much as I do, but because I mentioned her name in the title of the cigar. But I don't want to reveal the name of it because I'm afraid of someone taking my idea and stealing it from me. So you guys don't steal my idea. But anyway, I will stop rambling on about that. So let's get into some heavy metal news. But again, this cigar is doing great. I'm loving it. I'd say it's probably medium, almost medium plus strength. Great ash on this, great construction. The burn line's pretty even still. The construction's great. Nice oily, dark Maduro type wrapper. Little veiny, not too much. But just a great cigar so far, Tim Swanson, brother. I love this cigar. This, besides the Filthy Viking, this might be my next favorite one of yours, actually. So far I'm loving it. So let's get to some heavy metal news, and then we'll get on with the meat and potatoes of this podcast. But anyway, Def Leppard has just dropped a new single called Just Like 73. Phil Collen, the lead guitarist, and backing vocals for Def Leppard, so has a real glam feel and vibe to it. Def Leppard has also released a short video in which the 5 members of Def Leppard discuss this single they just dropped. This song also features Tom Morello on guitars from Rage Against the Machine. This is the first of any music that Def Leppard has put out since 2022. So definitely check out the new short video on YouTube, as well as the video single on YouTube. And the last album they put out, like I said, in 2022, was called Diamond Star Halos, which is it's a decent album. Really is a good album. It's definitely worth a listen to if you guys haven't listened to it yet. I really do like it. I'm gonna still say that my favorite albums from Def Leppard are the first four, which is On Through the Night, High and Dry, Pyromania, and then Hysteria. Those are my four favorite albums of Def Leppard. Oh, and I really do love Adrenalize, actually, also. Their first five albums, I'm going to say, are my favorite albums of all time of Def Leppard. But they've had some other great albums over the years as well, but I love those first five albums. But this Diamond Star Halos would kind of remind you of some of the older Def Leppard stuff in certain parts of it. So definitely is a good album. If you guys haven't listened to it, make sure you do that. Next on my heavy metal hard rock news is the band The Cult, one of my favorite bands. They just announced the September-October Western U.S. tour. Tickets for U.S. and Canada will be on sale starting tomorrow, depending on when you guys watch this. But the tickets will start going on sale June 21st, Friday, June 21st, which is tomorrow. Ticket links and VIP information can be found on the cult.us website. So go to cult.us, and that site should come up for you to purchase tickets if you want, if you're interested in seeing them. Vixen has parted ways with singer Lorraine Lewis. That was a huge surprise to me. I really thought that Lorraine Lewis would stay with Vixen. I really thought they would always be together. She used to be the singer for Femme Fatale back in the late 80s, early 90s. But Lorraine was with Vixen for the past 5 years. So anyway, so it's wild to see that they parted ways with her. But this was Roxy Pertucci, the drummer for Vixen, and the only original member left. It was her decision to part ways. They want to get back to maintaining their musical integrity and style of classic Vixen from the 80s. They didn't feel they were going that direction with her, I guess. So, but anyway, they have not announced the new singer yet, but she will debut with Vixen on June 21st of this year when playing with Quiet Riot, Slaughter, and Great White in Anaheim, California. So I'm anxious to see who it is. And of course, I won't be able to make it to California for any shows, but that's when she'll debut with Vixen, is on June 21st. So that's coming up pretty quick. Gosh, that is tomorrow. So, but anyway, so I'm very anxious to see, what goes on with that, how that all plays out. And then let's see here. Where they're playing is going to be, let's see here. It's on it's on the, I'm sorry. Gosh, I got my notes all kind of screwed up here, I think. So anyway, they are, I guess, going to be a part of, oh, I'm sorry. No, this is different news. I apologize. Vixen has nothing to do with this. Tesla, Crocus, Extreme, Winger, Michael Monroe of Ex Hanoi Rocks, LA Guns, as well, Pretty Maids, and others will set sail for the 2025 Monsters of Cruise. Monsters of Rock Cruise on March 10th through the 15th of 2025. They will leave Miami Beach, the port of Miami. They'll depart from the port of Miami, Florida, which is actually in Miami Beach, on the Norwegian cruise line. So, so if you're able to go on that, that would be a great thing to see. So, got to get something set up. I thought was still running here. Okay, I'm going to pause that. Have some special music for the background when we get into the subject of our podcast here, the main subject of our podcast, I should say. Anyway, but yeah, so that should be a great cruise, and there's going to be 2 different stages. Again, 35 toll artists on multiple stages actually. So there may be 3 stages possibly on that Monsters of Rock cruise. That will happen again March 10th through the 15th of 2025. And that will be on a Norwegian cruise line. So anyway, that sounds pretty interesting. And again, the main acts are Tesla, Crocus Extreme, Winger, Michael Monroe, ex-singer for Hanoi Rocks, LA Guns, Pretty Maids, and then others, which they have not announced who the other bands are. So anyway, that should be pretty good for all of you guys that get to attend that out there. Michael Schenker, if you guys aren't familiar who Michael Schenker is, he was a lead guitarist for UFO from 1972 to 1978. But anyway, so he's got an album coming out. It's called My Years with UFO. It'll feature guest appearances by Axl Rose. These are the vocalists that will appear on this album. Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses, Joey Tempest from Europe, Roger Glover from Deep Purple, Joe Turner from Rainbow, Biff Byford from Saxon, and Stephen Pearcy from Rat. And also there will be some legendary guitarists involved on this project, which will be Slash from Guns N' Roses, Joel Hoekstra from Whitesnake, John Norum from Europe, and Adrian Vandenberg of Whitesnake. So let's see here. That will be released on Ear Music on September 20th of this year. So anyway, so that should be pretty good if you're a UFO fan, Michael Schenker fan. So anyway, you should check that out definitely, guys. That might be pretty good. So anyway, but check that out definitely. And then Ace Frehley announces split with his fiancee Laura Cove after nearly 6 years together. They both still have much respect and love and for each other. Will still continue to be very supportive of each other, even though they're not together anymore. But Ace announced the end of this relationship from the stage during his June 15th concert at the Hollywood Casino at Charlestown Races in Charlestown, West Virginia. Ace is now in a relationship with a school teacher, Laura Cove. Let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I can't. I forget what his new fiance's name is. But he's with a school teacher now. And I mentioned Laura Cove, but that's who he split up with. So, but the teacher, he's with the teacher now. She's an element. Let's see. It just says she's a school teacher. They met on December 7th and 8th, 2018 at a KISS convention in New Jersey, where he performed his 1978 studio album, his solo album from KISS when he was with KISS in its entirety. Best solo KISS album ever during the KISS era was Ace Frehley's definitely. I want to say Paul Stanley's was probably the second best out of that. 4 that did that, but I don't know if you guys remember, each member did their own solo album in 1978 with KISS. Ace's was definitely the best. So we did perform the whole album in its entirety. And then, let's see here. And then the Scout that he met had a booth with mugs. They were called Lift Glasses, featuring all the members from the classic 70s era. And then, that's how they met. And then she attended some KISS concerts at one time. And let's see here. Or some Ace Frehley concerts. She had attended some of his concerts. I apologize. It wasn't KISS concerts, but had gone to some of Ace's concerts over time. And so he noticed her and remembered her from the convention, and they got together, and the rest is history, he said, pretty much. Nothing else to discuss. So anyway, but good luck to you, Ace. I don't know if you guys ever watched any of the videos on YouTube of Ace and his fiance at the time. She was always doing a lot of live video on Facebook. And then there was stuff put up on YouTube, stuff that she recorded or had recorded of them shopping, like at, local stores, like even Walmart and stuff like that. She had someone videotaping him and her together shopping for Ace's 10,000 Volts album when it came out this year. And then on Ace's Facebook page, she always had live stuff up, and she would have herself in the video, and then she would show all the live stuff that was going on with Ace during his shows. So that's who he was with. So anyway, but so they're no longer together, and that's the end of that, I guess. So last on my, let's see, well, not quite last, almost to the last part of my news. M.V. Malmsteen has announced a fall 2024 40th anniversary U.S. tour that will kick off on September 26th in Fort Myers, Florida, and will end on November 18th in New York City. Tickets go on sale Tuesday, June 18th. Well, they actually went on sale already. Last Tuesday, they went on sale on June 18th at 12 p.m. noon. So go to www.nvmalmsteen.com/tour for tour to get your tickets. So anyway, grab them up if you're been wanting to see M.V. Malmsteen. But he's going to be in quite a few cities, so definitely check him out if you're an M.V. Malmsteen fan. And then Ozzy, this is coming from Geezer Butler. Ozzy really wants to do one last Black Sabbath show with all the original members, with Bill Ward, with Tony Iommi and Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy really wants to do this. Geezer Butler's on board with it. They're not sure if Bill Ward or Tony Iommi are up for it, but they were even saying that it'd be even great to go in and record one last Black Sabbath album with all the original members, even if they don't tour it or anything like that. But the big question is, Bill Ward's had some heart issues over the years, and that's why he never did join Black Sabbath on the final farewell tour. And he's still kind of battling, with some health issues. I'm not sure where it is with where the issues are with his heart still, but there is some issues still possibly with his heart. He doesn't want to overexert himself and cause himself to have a heart attack or anything. So they're just not sure if Bill Ward can physically do it. They were kind of hoping maybe, during the last Black Sabbath show, maybe he could even perform like 3 songs on the encore. And again, this would be like a one-time thing, just a one show or one-off, just a one-time thing with one show with all of them playing. And I'm guessing it'd be in Birmingham, England, I'm thinking, where they're from, is what I'm thinking. So I don't know. Haven't heard anything else, but I'm anxious to see what else brews out of this whole idea. But it would be cool if they at least did one more Black Sabbath album together. That would be really cool. I would be up to grabbing that album if they did. And maybe they could make a couple videos or something along with it, for the fans. So I would love to see that. I really would. So we'll see. Had to give my cigar a relight. Probably because I'm talking too much again. On these cigars, if you don't puff on them regularly, they can go out on you. Some of them do, but it doesn't ruin my experience by any means. But anyway, right now I'm going to probably definitely rate this a 96. The cigar, it's really had a nice even burn line. Construction is great. It just feels great in my hand. Great smoke. Great taste notes, again, I'm getting pepper, some cooking spice. I'm definitely getting the nuts, cedar, and all that. I'm getting a lot of that kind of stuff. Let's see, what else did they say? Trying to see if I'm getting the raisin sweetness yet in the wrapper. You know, I definitely would say there's some kind of a like a kind of a tart, sweet, dried fruit, if anything, in the taste of the wrapper. But in the taste notes it says raisin, and I could see how that could be. But I get more of a dried fruit, like a tartness, or you know, tartness, sweetness from like a dried fruit. Um, so maybe I don't know. Not sure what the fruit would be. Maybe like a plum or something like that. So I guess it'd be kind of a prune, I guess, maybe. I think that's what dried plums are, aren't they? Prunes. So that might be what it is. But anyway, but it tastes really good. If anyway, I'm getting some sweetness and some natural sweetness and a little bit of tartness off the wrapper, which I would say is probably kind of a dried fruit flavor. Um, anyway, and then last um, on my music news, catch KK's Priest and Accept on their Full Metal Assault tour for this year. It started June 15th in Zamora, Spain, and will end October 17th, 2024 in San Francisco, California. KK's Priest is touring their recent album, which came out in 2023, called The Sinner Rides Again. And then Accept just brought out an album called Humanoid. It's had really great reviews so far, but that's the album that Accept is touring with on this. So anyway, that's it for that. Set those notes off to the side. And anyway, guys, what I'm gonna get into, and maybe some of you guys have figured out from what I've talked about, but the who I'm talking about today is the singer Ronnie James Dio, as well as the Dio band, and this is a guy that I admire and love very much. We lost Ronnie on May 16th in 2010, but he is missed every day. If he was alive still, he'd be 82 years old right now if he was alive. But anyway, Ronnie was born in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. He is known professionally as Ronnie James Dio, American heavy metal singer. Has fronted numerous bands, which I'll get into more throughout his career, including Elf, Rainbow, Black Sabbath, and of course the Dio band that he started in 1983. Well, actually 1982, but their first album came out in 1983. Ronnie died of stomach cancer. He passed away in a Houston, Texas hospital on May 16th of 2010, like I said. His gravesite is at Forest Green Memorial Park in Hollywood, Hills, California. So anyway, Ronnie was also known to be able to play bass guitar and trumpet and piano and guitar as well. So very diverse with what he knew how to play. But I was going to tell you guys, make sure you catch this great documentary of Dio, Dreamers Never Die, it's called. Just came out. This came out last year. I just picked it up about a month ago. Really, really touching documentary. I definitely was teary-eyed throughout a lot of it. And just some testimonials from people that was around him a lot that talked about Ronnie and just a lot about his history and everything on this DVD. But really, really great documentary. Make sure you pick this documentary up. You can find it on Amazon, eBay. I'm sure there's other areas or other websites you can find this on, but really, really good DVD documentary. I love it. Definitely had me crying through some of it. He was such a good guy. But let's see here. Ronnie is known for the devil horns on stage that he started up. It came from his grandmother. She was Italian, of course. He is an Italian American. But the idea for the horns, which he did this a lot, the horns, that was known from his grandmother that was very religious. that was called the Apotropaic Gesture, or Apotropaic Magic, or Protector, or Protection. It's intended to turn away harm or evil influences as a direct, as a deflecting misfortune or averting the evil eye. So this is called the evil eye, and that if you have that belief. So anyway, but that's where that started. But Ronnie, in that documentary I was telling you about, mentioned that Ozzy was always doing the peace sign on stage, and Ozzy thought, you know, to get his own identity going, he would do the evil eye instead of the peace sign. So anyway, but yeah, so to you guys, keep the evil eye away. So but give you guys some protection here. So anyway, guys, but no, anyway, but he was very sincere about this, and a lot of people thought he meant, you know, that he was a Satanist and all that, which he wasn't. He actually really didn't believe in an actual heaven or hell when he was alive. He believed heaven and hell was whatever path you took in life. If you chose to partake in evil things or, you know, negative things in life, you would definitely go down a road that would be hell. If you participated in good things in life and did things for yourself that was good in life, you would go down a road of heaven. So so that was his beliefs. But anyway, so Ronnie, just starting from the beginning, Ronnie started the Vegas Kings in 1957. Ronnie and the Rumblers in 1958. Ronnie and the Red Caps, they changed their name from Ronnie and the Rumblers to Ronnie and the Red Caps in 1959. Then it became Ronnie and the Prophets in 1960. And then Ronnie Dio and the Prophets, they changed that name to, it was Ronnie and the Prophets originally, and then they changed it to Ronnie Dio and the Prophets in 1960. And then it went to the Electric Elves in 1967. Then they changed that to the Elves, just the Elves, from 1967 to 1972. And then Richie Blackmore's Rainbow in 1975, which Richie Blackmore was formerly with Deep Purple. And then so Rainbow kind of came out of some of the band members from Elf and some you know, some of the new members that formed Rainbow at the time that they recruited. So like I said, some of the band members from Elf and other members that were recruited to get together and join forces to create Richie Blackmore's Rainbow. So and then there was Black Sabbath that Ronnie was involved with from 1979 to 1983, and then back with Sabbath from 1991 to 1992. And then Dio, he started that up in 1983, which actually he started in 1982, Dio, but the Dio band, but then started, they didn't put out their first album until 1983, which was Holy Diver, which I'll get into that. So give this just a little bit of a light here. This cigar is really wonderful, actually. I'm really loving it. Got a little bit of Ronnie in the background singing with the Dio band. So anyway, what I'm playing right now is this one right here. It's Evil or Divine is what I'm playing on my TV right now. This came out in 2000. Well, the concert was in 2003, but then this came out on DVD in 2005. And it also has a live CD with it as well. So so that's what I'm playing right now in the background. So anyway, but little bit of history on Ronnie there. But yeah, so he was, you know, with Dio from 1979 to 1982. And then the Live Evil album came out in 1983. And then he went back to Black Sabbath to do the Dehumanizer album, which that was in 1991 to 1992 that they did some shows for that. And then of course the Dio band lasted from 1982 to 2004. Or I'm sorry, well, to 2010, but 2004 is the last album they did. And then they got back together. Ronnie and Geezer Butler, Tony Iommi, and Vinny Appice, they got back together and did change the name to Heaven and Hell. Since Black Sabbath was also touring with Ozzy Osbourne, the original guys were doing some touring with Ozzy Osbourne, so they had to change the name to Heaven and Hell to not confuse anybody from the other tours that were going on with Ozzy. And then some of the other projects was Hearing Aid for Africa that Ronnie got together with. That was organized by Ronnie, of course, and also let's see here. Vivian Campbell, lead guitarist, and then Jimmie Bain, bass guitarist for Dio at the time. They're the three that started the Hearing Aid project. So for Africa, which they let's see here, they raised like $3 million. They raised $3 million to send over to Africa for to help with living, expenses or any medical expenses for people in Africa at the time that we're dealing, I think, with a lot of the AIDS stuff that was going on. And so anyway, and then Ronnie also did an appearance on Queensryche's Operation Mindcrime 2 on the CD, the Operation Mindcrime 2, and then also did a live appearance, which he was just on a screen, if I remember right, during that show, but he was on a screen singing during the Mindcrime at the More Live. So anyway, so he had that involvement as well. Let's see here. And also Ronnie was married twice. His first wife was Loretta Walters. From 1963 to 1973, they were divorced. And then he married Wendy Walters, which everyone knows is Wendy Dio. And they got married in 1978. And of course, until 2010 when Ronnie passed away. So she's widowed. And he does have one son that he adopted during his first marriage, I believe. So anyway, so a little history there. Anyway, got some more history for you. Let's see here. Ronnie James Dio Padavona, which is his original full-length name. So Ronnie James Dio Padavona was born in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, to Italian American parents, Patrick and Anna from Cortland, New York. His family moved to Portsmouth, New York from Cortland as part of his father's service in the U.S. military during World War II, and they resided there for only a short time before they returned back to Cortland, New York. Ronnie listened to a lot of opera growing up and was influenced by American tenor Mario Lanza. Ronnie's first formal musical training was the trumpet that his dad made him do. And then Ronnie participated in high school's bands, or different, in the high school band program, and was one of the youngest members selected to play in the school's official dance band at the time. It was in high school that Ronnie also formed his first rock and roll group or band, and that was called the Vegas Kings. which later would be named Ronnie and the Redcaps. And then through Ronnie beginning his rock and roll career playing trumpet, he added singing to his skill set, and also soon bass guitar duties for the group at the time. Ronnie graduated from Cortland High School in 1960. Ronnie was allegedly offered a scholarship to the prestigious Juilliard School of Music, but he did turn that down. And then he decided, he decided not to take up the offer because he was really involved, wanting to get more into the rock side of things with music. And then so he decided to go to the University of Buffalo, in which, when he went to college, he majored in pharmacology. Pharmacology. And so he only attended that college from 1960 to 1961, and then went to Cortland State College, but dropped out there as well shortly after, where he was majoring in history and minoring in, his major was history and his minor was English. So that was interesting, I thought. Despite being known for his powerful singing voice, Ronnie claimed to have never received any vocal training. He attributed his singing ability to the use of breathing techniques he learned while playing trumpet. So I just remember, might have to give this a relight here again. Let me give this another relight. Hopefully I can keep this going here a little better now after I do this. But anyway, I was just going to tell you guys, I had heard, on that documentary, through the documentary I just watched that I mentioned, called Dreamers Never Die, his ex-bandmates said that he never did practice before shows, never did any voice training before shows, or the whole time they knew him, never went through any trainings, never rehearsed before shows, never warmed up his voice. He spent all of his time visiting people that were backstage or just around, even out in front of the arena. Maybe if he ran into people, he'd be always visiting with people that were around to see him, and just always wanting to get to know his fans. He loved his fans, always wanting to get to know them. And there was times his band members said that his mind was just incredible. He would run into people that maybe he had met 4 years previous or so, 3 years previous, and he wouldn't remember their name exactly, but he'd always remember what they talked to him about. Maybe if it was a grandfather that was in the hospital or someone that was sick, he'd always remember that and ask them how they were doing, and just always got on a personal level with all of his fans and people around, so he just loved people, loved his fans, just loved people. So that's what he spent all of his time doing before concerts and after, was just socializing, but never did any warm-ups or anything. That was amazing to me, because so many documentaries or concerts I see of bands, they're always, rehearsing or warming up their voice beforehand. And not Ronnie, though. He was out visiting with all his fans and getting to know his fans and just wanting to get to know them and be on a personal level with them. And so he loved people. He loved everybody around him. I just thought that was such a great quality of Ronnie. So that just really, really impacted me as the kind of person he was. Even when he was dying and he was being treated in the Houston, Texas hospital before he passed away, he was always visiting all the kids that were cancer, that had cancer. Kids that had cancer, he was always visiting with them, taking them autographed stuff and giving them CDs or albums or whatever, autographed photos, visiting with them and everything. So, and I'll get into a little bit of that more later on this show. He definitely he has a cancer. He started, Wendy Dio started. Dio started it, but then Wendy Dio has continued to keep it going. But he's got a foundation for children with cancer if their parents can't afford the bills. This foundation he's got will help pay for those bills. So really great foundation. So I'll get into that here in a little bit. But let me get into some discography with Ronnie and the bands he's been involved with. Elf was the first major band he was a part of. So the first band, the first album was from 1972, self-titled, called Elf. Then Carolina County Ball in 1974. Trying to Burn the Sun in 1975. And they've had some singles, which I didn't write them down, but if you look up Elf Band or Elf, it'll take you to Wikipedia. It'll list all the singles they've had and everything. And then, of course, that formed into Rainbow in 1975, which was called Richie's Blackmore Rainbow in the beginning. And then, so they had their first album called Richie Blackmore's Rainbow from 1975, and Rising in 1976, Long Live Rock and Roll in 1978. And some of the singles off these albums was Man on the Silver Mountain, which was on Richie Blackmore's Rainbow, as well as Catch the Rainbow from their first album. They did Catch the Rainbow. And then Terror Woman, 1976 from Rainbow Rising, Long Live Rock and Roll. I'm sorry, Stargazer from the Rising album in 1976, and then Long Live Rock and Roll from 1978 from the Long Live Rock and Roll album, and then Gates of Babylon, which is probably my favorite Rainbow song, is Gates of Babylon in 1978 from the Long Live Rock and Roll album. And then it went from that to where he joined Black Sabbath in 1980. So the first album was Heaven and Hell. And that album reached number 28 on the Billboard Top 200 charts, certified platinum for 1 million sales. And so, of course, Heaven and Hell had Ronnie as lead vocalist, Tony Iommi lead guitarist, Geezer Butler on bass, and Bill Ward on drums. Bill left Black Sabbath, and then Vinny Appice came in. And that is the Mob Rules album came out in 1981. Did very well in the U.S. and in the UK. Reached the top 20 on the charts. And then, of course, Mob Rule consisted of Ronnie, Tony, Geezer, and Vinny. And then, of course, Live Evil came out in 1983. That peaked at number 37 on the Billboard pop album charts. And then he was also involved with Dehumanizer in 1992. And then, of course, like I discussed, they had to change the name of Black Sabbath to Heaven and Hell in 2009. And that album they brought out was called The Devil You Know. So let me show you those albums here. I don't have any Rainbow albums with me. But here's and I have these vinyls as well, but I went ahead and brought down my CDs. But here's the Black Sabbath Heaven and Hell album right there. And there's the back of it right there. And this album here had Neon Nights, Children of the Sea, Lady Evil, Heaven and Hell, Wishing Well, Die Young, Walk Away, and Lonely Is the Word. And then it has some B-sides on it as well, and some live cuts as well during that tour. So really great album. Definitely one of the best albums that Ronnie James Dio has ever been a part of. And that's Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell. And then next came up was Mob Rules. There's Mob Rules right there. And this is the deluxe edition. This other one is the remastered deluxe edition. I've also got the remastered deluxe edition on vinyl. And then, of course, like I said, Black Sabbath Mob Rules. And there's rumor that down on the bottom in here, somewhere down in here in the painting, there's some red stuff that looks like red writing, almost where it looks like it says Aussie Die, which I don't see it, but there's the album cover right there. Mob Rules. There's the back of it. And some of the great songs on this was Turn Up the Night, Voodoo, The Sign of the Southern Cross, E5 150, The Mob Rules, Country Girls, Slipping Away, Falling Off the Edge of the World, and Over and Over. Bonus tracks. There is two live tracks, Die Young and The Mob Rules. Doesn't say where that was recorded at. And then also live at Hammersmith Odeon, London on December 31st of 1981 and February 1st of 1982. And so great live album along with it. So anyway, Mob Rules. So definitely another great album. Really love Mob Rules and Heaven and Hell, both great albums. And then of course, Black Sabbath, Live Evil. This is a remastered deluxe edition. Really great album, and I did end up picking up the Black Sabbath Live Evil box set. So this has the original live album, 40th anniversary remaster, as well as a second live album that was recorded elsewhere. So anyway, really great box set. Well, I don't know if I'll open it. A lot of stuff in this. Yeah, actually I will open it. Show you guys what's in this. I've got the hype sticker, of course, right there. This was on the back of the box when you open it up. Same thing that's on the back, which I'll show you the back of it. But it comes with a replica tour book from the Mob Rules tour. Comes with another book here. Just a lot of history of the band. This super deluxe book, hardcover book. And everything's just really beautiful in these the replicas of the tour book and everything. Just really great photos in there. Really, really good stuff. Really impressed with this box set. So a lot of really cool stuff in here. So a lot of neat stuff. Great book, replica tour book. And then it comes with 2 albums, and it also comes with a fold-out poster. But here's the fold-out poster right here. Really cool poster. The Black Sabbath from the Mob Rules tour. And then here's the live albums. And I thought these were really cool. It comes with like a replica vinyl sleeve that you'd find in vinyls. But that's this is the original live album there that was brought out. And there's the inside of it, just like the regular vinyl. Another CD there. So it's got 2 CDs. And there's the back of it right there. And then the second live album that they brought out, this is the 40th anniversary remix right there. And these were taken in different areas. But here's the inside of it. I'll show you the inside of it right there. Very cool. But some of the recordings came from Seattle, San Antonio, Texas, Fresno, California as well. So anyway, that's a really great live second edition album or extra album that came with it. Really good. Both recordings are just top notch. Very good recordings. The sound is just spot on completely. Very impressed with the recordings that they remastered, and just really impressed with this whole packaging. And then there's my original receipt. I bought this at Ernie November in Cheyenne, Wyoming. But there's my original receipt. And then of course I kept the hype sticker there. So so there's that. And let me get this. And then again, there's the back right there. But yeah, so I already showed that to you, I think. So anyway, but a really great box set. If you haven't picked up that 40th anniversary box set of Live Evil, you gotta pick that up. It's a really, really great album, or album box set to have. Put some puffs on my cigar before it goes out on me again here. So anyway, and then by the way, Ronnie was really into dark beers, so here's a really dark beer. In memory of Ronnie. Really, really good dark beer. And I'll tell you what beer this is. This is the Beer of the Dark by Iron Maiden. Really, really good beer. Just got some spice to it. I don't know, just got some nice kind of spices to it, and different things in it. I can't even tell you what all the different taste notes are in this, but I get some nice some nice different spices in it. It's a great smelling beer too. But anyway, I sell this at my store at Main Street Market here in town. There's that spaceship that you guys have known to hear in the background at times. And then on the beer bottles from Iron Maiden, it's got that cap on it if you can see it. So just really neat. This is the Flight of Icarus cover from the 45 single that came out at one time. So all their beer bottles always have a different album cover on it, or 45 cover. So anyway, cheers to you guys, but cheers to you, Ronnie. Rest in peace, my Italian brother. You're missed every day, brother. You're missed. But anyway, this is a memory of you. So anyway, but yeah, Ronnie loved dark beers, dark German beers, which that beer is imported from England. So about as close as I can get, I guess, right now. Besides maybe Guinness. Well, Guinness isn't even a German beer, actually. So never mind. So anyway, and then of course, then here's the Dehumanizer album from Black Sabbath, and this is the deluxe edition as well. Has the regular album, which consists of Computer God, After All the Dead, TV Crimes. Computer God and TV Crimes are really, really great songs. Letters from Earth, Master of Insanity, Time Machine is another great song. Sins of the Father, Too Late, wonderful song. Buried Alive. Excuse me. And then disc 2 has Master of Insanity, single edit. Letters from Earth, B-side version. Time Machine, Wayne's World version from the movie Wayne's World. And then it's got Live at Sundome, Tampa, Florida, 25th of July, 1992. Children of the Sea Die Young, TV Crimes, Master of Insanity, After All the Dead, Neon Nights. So there's some extras on that. And then here's let me take this disc out so you can see the rest of the picture better. Anyway, so here you go. Here's a shot of the band right there. This is probably right up there with the first two albums, I'd say, with Mob Rules and Heaven and Hell. Really, really kind of a dark album, but really, really good with Ronnie. God, it's really, really good album. If you guys have not listened to this yet or picked it up, try to pick that up. And then, of course, the last album that Black Sabbath did with Ronnie, which they changed the name to Heaven and Hell, like I said, is it's called The Devil You Know. And some of the great songs on this was Adam and Evil, Fear, Bible Black, Double the Pain, Rock and Roll Angel, The Turn of the Screw, Eating the Cannibals, Follow the Tears, Neverwhere, Breaking into Heaven. So anyway, right there is the last album that they did with Ronnie. And that came out in 2009. So The Devil You Know. So really great album as well. So make sure you pick that up if you haven't listened to it yet. So anyway, there's the Black Sabbath albums involving Dio. So Ronnie James Dio. And then we get into the Dio band. So let's see here. So the first album that came out with Dio was The Last in Line. I don't have this on CD. I've only got it on vinyl. But here's Dio, Holy Diver from 1983, right there. And there's the back of it right there. Some of the great songs on this, of course, was Stand Up and Shout, Holy Diver, which, great song, on MTV a lot. Gypsy, Caught in the Middle, Don't Talk to Strangers, Straight Through the Heart, Invincible, Rainbow in the Dark, another huge hit that was on MTV all the time, and Shame on the Night. So, from 1983, Dio, Holy Diver, right there. And this album, after it was released, which let me tell you who was in the band. So the Dio band, Holy Diver, was Ronnie James Dio vocals, Vinny Appice on drums, Jimmie Bain on bass, Vivian Campbell on guitars, and he was playing off from the stage, but Claude Schnell was doing keyboards, but they didn't have him on the stage at the time. He doesn't make his appearance until the next album, which is The Last in Line. You need to give us a relight here again. I think me talking is just really causing me to not puff on this enough. So I'll give it another relight here, get it going again. But I am loving this cigar so far, really am. But I wish I wasn't having to relight it as much. But it could be because of me talking too much, of course. But now that I've gotten this relit again, maybe I can keep it going and have better luck with it. But still getting a lot of great taste notes. But with the relights, I'll probably go ahead and say I'm going to give it a rating of 93 right now. Get a little more butane in my lighter here. Okay. Anyway, the next album that we're going to discuss is The Last in Line. Get my lighter going here again. There we go. Hopefully I won't have to use it anymore. So anyway, the next album is The Last in Line. Right there. There's the back of it. We Rock, The Last in Line, which was a huge song on MTV. Breathless, I Speed at Night, One Night in the City, Evil Eyes, Mystery, Eat Your Heart Out, Egypt, The Chains Are On. And this came out in 1984. If I didn't mention Dio, the Holy Diver came out in 1983. This came out in 1984. And then the Last in Line lineup was Ronnie James Dio, Vinny Appice on drums, Vivian Campbell on guitar, Claude Schnell on keyboards, and then Jimmie Bain on bass. Recorded at, this is something I did not know about until just today. The Last in Line album was recorded at Caribou Ranch in Colorado. which is just neighbors to us, almost. So wow, I didn't know that was recorded in Colorado of all places. But anyway, this album reached number 23 on the U.S. Billboard reached number 23 on U.S. Billboard 200, reached number 4 on the UK album charts, and so really good album as well. Really great album. If you guys have not listened to this album for a while, or you've never picked it up or listened to it, you gotta grab it. Really good album, The Last in Line. Then next came Dream Evil. Or I'm sorry, let's see here. No, I'm sorry, Sacred Heart was the next album. And I don't have this on CD either, I've only got it on vinyl. So Sacred Heart. And this came out in 1985. And here's the back of it. Really great songs on this is King of Rock and Roll, Sacred Heart, Another Live, Rock and Roll Children, Hungry for Heaven, love that song. That was in the, I'm trying to remember a movie that was in. Oh gosh, hopefully I'll think about it, but it was in a movie, Vision Quest. Vision Quest. That was in the movie Vision Quest. Like the Beat of a Heart, Just Another Day, Fallen Angels, and Shoot Shoot. So anyway, so right there, Sacred Heart. Really good album. And Sacred Heart, the lineup for Sacred Heart was the same guys, but during the middle of that tour, Vivian Campbell ended up leaving due to differences with Ronnie, writing differences with Ronnie, so he left, and Craig Goldie came in. That was originally with Geoffria, the band Geoffria, came in and took his place, and toured with them, so Bain Campbell's there for the recording. He did all the guitars on the recording, but when they're out on tour, Bain Campbell ended up leaving, which I ended up getting to meet him when he was with Whitesnake later on in the years, and he was a really nice guy. I got to meet him in Casper, Wyoming, when he first joined Whitesnake. Got to meet him in the Hilton Inn in Casper, Wyoming. He was reading a Metal Edge magazine about an article about himself, and so I stopped and talked to him, and he talked with me for a good 15 minutes. Gave me an autograph, which I still have, and gave me a guitar pick, and just, he was a really nice guy, and I loved his Australian accent. But I'll never forget getting to meet him. But still, thought it was sad that he was with Dio, which I didn't bring that up at the time. I just told him it was great to meet him, and glad I got to meet him in person and talk to him, and I appreciated him for taking the time to talk to me. So anyway, but Sacred Heart reached number 29 on the U.S. Billboard 200, number 4 on the UK album charts. So it did well as well also. Next is Dream Evil. Really good album as well. And Dream Evil, that came out in 1987. And there's the back of it there. Great songs on this is Night People, Dream Evil, of course, which had, video on MTV for that. Sunset Superman, All the Fools Sailed Away, Naked in the Rain, Overlove, I Could Have Been a Dreamer, another big hit on, that was, aired on MTV, the video. Faces in the Window, When a Woman Cries. So that was the other song off that album. And then I was going to tell you guys, on that Sacred Heart tour, they did do a recording. It's called Finding the Sacred Heart, live at the Spectrum, or live in Philly at the Spectrum, I think, and is the name of the venue, 1986. So that's a really great live album. If you've never listened to this live album, make sure you check that out. There's all the songs. There's the track listing. And I've got the vinyl to this as well. A really great live album. I've got the DVD, I've got the vinyl, and this as well. So anyway, make sure you check that out if you've never listened to it. And I think it's still somewhat easy to find, but a lot of Dio's stuff and anything that Dio's involved with is becoming more and more rare and harder to find, and even probably more expensive. So if you get a chance to find that and pick it up, make sure you do that. So. And then next, let's see here. After Dream Evil, came Lock Up the Wolves in 1990. Ronnie had a whole brand new lineup for this album. But here's Lock Up the Wolves, which is probably one of my favorite albums as well. Really love this album. There's the back of it. So some of the great songs on this album is Wild One, which was on MTV, I believe. They had a video for it anyway. Born on the Sun, Hey Angel, another great song. They had a video for that as well. I believe it was on MTV. Between Two Hearts, Night Music, Lock Up the Wolves, Evil on Queen Street, Walk on Water, Twisted, Why Are They Watching Me, My Eyes. And I wanted to open this up. I'm trying to remember. I believe the band is in here. Yeah, I got a fold-out poster here. Yeah, this turns into a poster. So there's the new lineup right there. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. Right there is the band. And some of them one of them might look familiar to you in there. And I'll go over their names here. So the new lineup, of course, was Ronnie James Dio, still, of course, vocalist. Ronnie Robertson, he was only 18 years of age at the time. And he came from England, I believe. And then Simon Wright, he was formerly with AC/DC, which I got to meet Simon Wright with AC/DC back in 1988. Just a few years before he joined Dio. Got to meet Simon Wright in Casper, Wyoming. Along with everybody else in AC/DC. Got to go backstage and hang out with them for a little while. So Simon Wright, he was a really nice guy. But yeah, he was formerly with AC/DC. He went on to be with Dio. And pretty much stayed with Dio for the rest of his career, pretty much. And then Teddy Cook on bass, formerly with Danger Danger. And then Jens Johansson on keyboards, formerly with Yngwie Malmsteen. So that was the lineup in 1990. And again, Ronnie changed personnel due to the fact that he thought his previous band was losing interest. So he decided to change the band up and go a different direction. But anyway, this album landed at 200, or on the top US Billboard 200 at number 61. UK album charts at number 28. So that was, it did pretty well overall, I thought. So anyway, and then next is Strange Highways, right there. There's the back of it. Some of the songs on this is Jesus, Mary, and the Holy Ghost. Firehead, Strange Highways, which was a pretty dang good song, I thought. Hollywood Black, another great song. Evolution, Pain, One Foot in the Grave, Give Her the Gun, Blood from a Stone, Here's to You, Bring Down the Rain. So that was the track listing on this album. And then, of course, the lineup changed a little bit again. Ronnie on vocals, Tracy G on guitars, Jeff Pilson bass keyboards that came from Dokken. He's also been with Foreigner for a lot of years now. And then Appice on drums, back with the band again, Vinny Appice. That was with Black Sabbath, and originally with Ronnie James' earlier albums with Dio. So he's back again. This album came in at number 142 on the US Billboard 200. So not as successful. But really great album in my eyes anyway, I think. So anyway, and then the rest of the albums I never did own up until recently. Except for one, which was Killing the Dragon, which I got the original, not with me down here, but I got the original put away. So anyway, the next album that came out was Angry Machines. And this is coming from Ronnie's box set that came out here not too long ago. This is the studio albums with BMG. And this is from 1996 to 2004. Nothing fancy about this set, but I do like the box it comes in. But all the CDs are remastered and in digipacks. So there's the inside of that right there. And a lot of new artwork in this as well. But the songs on this was Institutional Man, Don't Tell the Kids, Black, Hunter of the Heart, Stay Out of Mind, Big Sister, Double Monday, Golden Rules, Dying in America, This Is Your Life, God Hates Heavy Metal, bonus track on this. So anyway, that's Angry Machines. So, and again, that came out in 2004. No, I'm sorry, 1996. I apologize, 1996. Lineup was Ronnie James Dio, Tracy G, Jeff Pilson still, and Vinny Appice as well. Number 44 on the top German albums 100 list. This album did rank on a lot of platforms in the U.S. It was too many to discuss. So if you're interested to see where this album ranked through the U.S. and other countries, just go to, just look up Dio Band and it'll take you to Wikipedia. Look up this album on the discography section. It'll tell you everywhere. If you look at the charts, part of it, it'll tell you where this charted everywhere in the U.S. and other countries. So, but this is a really good album, though. I really do like it. Again, there's the back of it. Really do like this album. I really thought it was good. And then next is Magica. And this is a concept album here. It's about us being at war with robots. Humans being at war with robots. Really different album. I wasn't sure what to think about this album. Really good though, but don't get me wrong, really good album, but I wasn't sure what to think about because it was just done so differently than all the other Dio albums. But this album consists of Craig Goldie, guitars and keyboards. Again, back with Dio, that was with Jeffrey originally, that took over Vivian Campbell's spot. Jimmie Bain back on bass, and Simon Wright as well. So yeah, and I forgot to mention he was on the Angry Machines album too. Simon Wright was, and then on the Angry Machines, I don't know if I mentioned Scott Warren on keyboards on the Angry Machines, but then yeah, so on the Magic album is Craig Goldie on guitars and keyboards, and Jimmie Bain on bass, Simon Wright on drums. So anyway, so a good album, but just really different kind of a concept album. But anyway, there's a picture of the band right there. But anyway, really good album though, but just I've never have been used to Ronnie doing a concept album, but in the 90s and everything, a lot of that stuff was kind of going on concept albums, you know, so it seemed like. So anyways, it was a good album though, definitely a good album. I definitely recommend you guys listening to it if you can ever find this, or pick up the box set to get a hold of this, but it is on sale out there, you know, as a single. The original album is out there on sale, but it's been quite expensive. So anyway, but I really do love the artwork on that as well. I think I've loved pretty much all the artwork that Ronnie's ever done on any of the Dio albums. So anyway, Magica right there. Again from 2000, from the year 2000. So yeah. So anyway, Magica. So anyway, great concept album. Again, about humans being against robots in a Civil War type situation is what they said about this album. So, and then next is Killing the Dragon. Definitely one of my favorite albums. Really good album. This came out in 2002, and the songs on this is Killing the Dragon, which there's a video for that with I'm sorry, no, I think there's a video for that. Along Comes a Spider, Scream, Better in the Dark, Rock and Roll, Push. Push, they definitely had a really good video for this. That involved Jack Black, which Jack Black's an actor, and he's got a group called Tenacious D on the side as a side project. But Jack Black and Ronnie were very close friends, so he's in that video. Guilty, Throwaway Children, Before the Fall, Cold Feet. So anyway, but yeah, great album, guys. Really great album. Came out in 2002 2002. It wasn't successful at all on the, I mean, in my eyes it was successful, but in a lot of the Dio fans, but it was number 199 on the US Billboard 200. And in the UK rock and metal albums, it was at number 23. So it goes to show you that in the UK and other countries, that metal's still very highly recognized and loved, compared to the US that is much into pop bands, and I don't know what else you even want to call the groups that come out these days. So anyway, and give this another light. I'm just having a heck of a time with this cigar, keeping it lit. But it's really been really good, but it's just not wanting to stay lit for me very well. And again, I don't know if it's just I'm talking too much or what, I don't know. But other than having to do several relights on this so far, it's been really good. I got another one of these put away. I'll have to smoke that one to see if it does the same thing or if it does better. But I'm guessing it's because of me talking and not puffing on it enough. I'm thinking I've had that issue through a lot of my podcasts where I talk a lot, of course, but I don't do enough puffing, I don't think, on my cigars. So hope you guys are enjoying the background music with Dio. And by the way, then the very last album that Dio did was Master of the Moon, and I love the artwork on this. The artwork is just beautiful on this. I've actually been trying to find a flag with this to hang up down here in my lounge with that logo on it. I've got a t-shirt put away that's just a little bit too small for me now. But I love, this is probably my favorite album from Dio for artwork, concerning the artwork anyway. I mean, so really love all those purples and blues and all the different colors of purples. Oh, I just love this album cover. Really beautiful cover, really beautiful. And this came out in 2004, like I said. This didn't chart at all too much in the US, but it did chart a lot in other countries. So again, you'll have to go to Wikipedia, look up this album and look at where it charted, but a lot of different charts in other countries. So it was successful in other countries, but not in the US. Songs on this is One More for the Road, Master of the Moon, The End of the World, Shivers, The Eyes, The Man Who Would Be King, Living the Lie, I Am, Death by Love, In Dreams are the songs on this. And that lineup was Ronnie James Dio, Craig Goldie, guitars and keyboards, Jeff Pilson on bass, and Simon Wright again. And this was the last album that they did, but Dio did continue to tour through 2010. So the final lineup in Ronnie's band was Ronnie James Dio, Simon Wright on drums, Scott Warren on keyboards, Craig Goldie on guitars, Rudy Sarzo, ex-Quiet Riot, ex-Ozzy. See, who else has he been with? Quiet Riot, Ozzy, Whitesnake as well. So he was with them up until the end of their touring days in 2010. So anyway, that was the final lineup. And then also, guys, I didn't write down all the people involved, but make sure you check out some of the Dio tribute bands out there featuring past members of Dio. One is called Dio Disciples, and the other one's called Last in Line. So Vinny Appice and Vivian Campbell have been involved in some of that, as well as a lot of the other members that have been with Dio over the years. So make sure you check those tribute bands out. Some of the awards that Ronnie won was the Metal Guru Award by Classic Rock Magazine in 2006. At the Revolver Golden Gods Awards in 2010, Ronnie was awarded the Best Metal Singer Award. Ronnie was the oldest recipient of the award at that time at the age of 67. This was the last public appearance also that Ronnie made just a month before he passed away. So anyway, yeah. So that I'm gonna have to see if I can find that on YouTube. See if I can catch that awards show where he was awarded that oldest, the best metal singer award. I'll have to see if I can find that. And then in 2013, by music journalist Sasha Jenkins, Ronnie was marked as the genre's best vocalist. Dio, and just a note here I made to myself, Dio is indeed regarded as one of the greatest and most influential heavy metal vocalists of all time in my book, and I believe that most everybody agrees with that probably. And then on August 6, 2016, a hologram of the singer Dio was created by Eye Illusion, made its way to the Open Air Festival at the Wacken Open Air Festival in 2016, and then a second hologram was created by a subsequent world tour. Watch began on December 6, 2017 in Bochum, Germany. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. So yeah, so then they did it. I remember this tour happening, which it was never in our area, but I remember the tour where they had the band and they had him as a hologram singing all the Dio music. So, but that began in 2017 in Bochum, Germany. So, and then continued on with other areas. And then on January 18th, 2017, on January 18th, 2017, Dio was inducted into the Hall of Heavy Metal History, Hall of Heavy Metal History, in 2017 on January 18th. In 2023, Rolling Stone ranked Ronnie Dio at number 165 and on its list of the top 200 greatest singers of all time. So a lot of awards he's won, and there was many more that I didn't mention. But if you go to Dio Band and look up, or Ronnie James Dio, look up anything on Wikipedia, it'll tell you all the awards he's won throughout his life, along with him and along with Dio. So, but anyway, I was going to tell you guys, Ronnie's foundation is called the Stand Up and Shout Cancer Fund. You can go to www.diocancerfund.org. And this was founded in memory of the late singer, a privately funded 501c3 publicity charity. The Ronnie James Dio Stand Up and Shout Cancer Fund has already raised over $2 million since its inception, and that started in 2010 or in 2009. And then Rock for Ronnie brings in $800,000 for Ronnie James Dio Stand Up and Shout. There was some kind of a I didn't get the rest of this printed off, but there was a big, like a whole day of bands, and I forget where it was at, and I forget what year it was. It was after he passed away, but they did a whole day of music of different bands, and it was a benefit to raise money for children with cancer. So they raised $80,000 for that. So that's pretty crazy. But again, you can find that information if you go to Wikipedia and just look up all that kind of stuff. So let's see here. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, I did want to show you my DVDs really quick that I own of Dio and everything. So here's my DVD collection. Dio live in London from 1993. Really, really good live concert if you can find this. There's the track listing right there. Great DVD. And then of course there's the DVD Finding the Sacred Heart, live in Philly 1986 at the Spectrum. And there's the back of it right there. And then Dio, Evil or Divine, live in New York City, right there. And that came out, and that's what I'm listening to right now again. This came out in 2000, well, the concert was in 2003, it came out on DVD in 2005. So really, really great live show. as you guys have been probably hearing that in the background. And then Holy Diver Live, where the Dio band did the whole Holy Diver album from beginning to end, and then added some other songs into the mix as well. But this came out in, let's see here, ...2006 is when this came out. Really great show. And of course, Rudy Sarzo is the bass player during this show. And then Heaven and Hell, live at Radio City Music Hall in 2007, when they did the Heaven and Hell album, The Devil You Know. So anyway, really good show. Really good show. Ronnie James Dio, Geezer Butler, Tony Iommi, Vinny Appice. And then the very last DVD that was brought out was Heaven and Hell. Neon Nice, 30 Years of Heaven and Hell, live in Europe. That came out in, let's see, I want to say this came out in 2010. Yeah, 2010 this came out. The performance was on July 30th, 2009 at Wacken. So anyway, so there's that DVD. I've got the live CD coming. I had it at one time for this, but I found one copy, brand new copy on the internet, on eBay, I believe is where I ordered it from. So that's coming. So anyway, but definitely on the lookout for any Dio, Black Sabbath stuff I don't own yet. So anyway, give you guys some shout outs here. Got some new members. But anyway, that's it for Dio. Dio, rest in peace, brother. You're missed every day. Cheers to you, Dio. Ronnie James Dio. Cheers to you. Cheers to all of you out there that are part of Harper Cigar Lounge all around the world. Thank you guys for being a part of all this. So that's for you also. But let me read off some new members. Give out some shout outs real quick here. On the last podcast that I did on May 23rd, we had 1,528 members on our Harper Cigar Lounge group page on Facebook. Now we've got 38 new members. So now we got 1,566 members total now. So thank you to all of you that have joined. Thank you all of you that have joined from the beginning as well. So anyway, let me read off some of these names. There's a few I'll have to skip because it's in Japanese. Victoria Andrew, Meng Johnson, Angela Jonas Anderson, John Hulbert, Jorg Maywald, Cuban Cigars, Gerald Thompson, VL Hawley, Felix Antonio Gonzalez, Norbert Harlan, Benny B, Anthony Jones, drummer Diamond Dave Sereni, Mike McCain, Valentine Abro, Nina McCoo, Griezmann Mike, Iwan Kasasi II, Ty Kwok, Daniel Lopez Ma Cigar, another name that's in Jewish, I can't read that one, Paul Holland, Elmer Cirez, Quality Cigar Home, Bismarck Romero, Gustavo Delgado Escorcia, Hoa Deo Deo. I know I pronounced that one wrong. George Lopez, Rocky Barron, Porus Express Habanos, Andrew D. Angelis, Carlos Napasi, Stash Brands, Reggie Garrett, Nikolai Stankov, and Authentic Cigars. Sorry if I mispronounced your names out there, guys. Not very good at pronouncing some of the names from you guys that are in other countries, but thank you very much. You guys I didn't get to read off, thank you for joining. You know who you are. So thank you very much. I also want to give a shout out here. Give out some shout outs to guys in the cigar business that have given me some good emotional support and have contacted me and given me their feedback and comments about my podcast, and that have just supported me, you know, not money wise, but just being there for me to talk to and giving me feedback on this podcast. So Corey Banks, Samuel Hoffman, and Jason, the intern with the Cigar Junkies over in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Thank you very much, guys, for all your support to me. Cigar Junkies, again, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is where they're located. Tim Swanson from Cigars Daily and American Viking Cigars out of Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you for your relationship as well, Tim. And all you guys at Cigar Junkies, thanks for your great relationship that we have together. And Samuel, thank you again for the cigars you sent me. I really appreciate the cigars you sent me. And it's an honor to promote you guys and to be someone to go out and talk to people about you guys and to pass the word on about you guys. And as well as you, Tim Swanson, it's an honor to know you, and thank you for your relationship that we have. Thanks for all your support to me. David Garofalo from Cigars Authority and Two Guys Cigars out of New Hampshire. And let's see here, Nashua, Salem, New Hampshire, Nashua, New Hampshire, and Seabrook, New Hampshire. Those are the 3 locations for the Two Guys Cigar Shop. Thank you, David, for all your support and for your friendship. And then Daniel Ravanelli at the 505 Cigar Review. He's out of Cheyenne, Wyoming, which is only 45 minutes from me to an hour. He's also a rep for Family by Loyalty Cigars out of Doral, Florida. And I appreciate your visit to my office here a while back and for some of the cigars you brought me to try from Family by Loyalty. I really appreciated that a lot. I got a few left. I do want to do some reviews. Maybe during my Dropping the Ash podcast, I'll do a review on some of those here pretty soon. But yeah, thank you for those cigars. I've been enjoying them. I've smoked 3 of them. I got 3 left, I believe is what I got left. So thank you again, Daniel. And I want to give a shout out to my biggest supporters, which is my own family. First and foremost, my wife, Marcy, my son, Jason, and then my mom, Sheila Harper, back in Torrington, Wyoming. My sister, Sharon, my niece, Lindsay, back in Torrington, Wyoming. My brother, Grant, over in Chardon, Wyoming. And my wife, my stepkids, on my wife's side of the family. I want to thank Amy Peterson over in Torrington for all your support to me. Amy and Austin over in Tucson, Arizona. Casey and Aubrey over in Rapid City, South Dakota. And then, of course, I want to thank also Mateo and Austin, as well as that are my wife's 2 boys, grown up, of course, and they're getting ready to move to Campbell. So actually, Mateo's already moved here. He's going to work for Clean Harbors at a plant where they destroy waste, where my oldest son works, my oldest son, Gage. And I want to thank him too for all of his support to me. So anyway, so a lot of family, and then also my uncle and my aunt, Gary and Mary, over in Reno, Nevada. I want to give a shout out to you guys also over there. So thank you guys. All your guys' support to me is very important to me. And I love y'all very, very much. And I want to thank my wife and my youngest son, Jason, for pushing me in the direction that I've gone in. They've pushed me to go in the direction of, to do more cigars, since it's a passion of mine. And so if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have my cigar lounge. I wouldn't probably be doing any of these podcasts that I've been doing. And so a big thank you to them, to my wife and my youngest son, Jason. So thank you guys. Well, anyway, I think that's it for me today. Again, this is my last episode. This is episode 22 of season 2. This is my last episode for this season. I will start everything back up in September again of this year, and we'll look at doing a different background setting, look at doing some different things than what I've been doing. My first season, I did different things, and then this second season's been different. My third season, I'm going to try to switch it up again and do some different things in season 3. So I can't wait to get going with that again for you guys. But I'll still continue doing the Dropping the Ash podcast, hopefully on a weekly basis still. So make sure you catch me during those podcasts that I'll keep continuing to do. And so thank you guys again for all your support to me. You guys mean the world to me. I'm doing this all for you, like I've said in the past. I'm doing this all for you. It's for your benefit, to help you guys have better smoking experiences. I did want to tell you guys one real quick thing, actually. Let's see here. I had something written down. Here we go. Maybe this is it. Some cigar news is what I'm wanting to do. Monte Cristo just brought out a 1935 anniversary edition called the Double Diamante. Those have been shipped out, but they retail at $150 due to the 10-year-old aged tobacco before the cigars were rolled. So this is a blend and grown by AJ Fernandez from Nicaragua, from his farms in Nicaragua, including La Lilia and San Latano. Measures 6.5 by 54. Comes in a glossy piano finished cigar box. It's a 20-count cigar box that has humidors in it. Also, only 250 boxes are made. And I was going to see if I could find that picture really quick in Cigar Aficionado here. Show you guys. Oh, so here we go. So this is out of Cigar Aficionado, but there's the picture of that cigar. That's $150 right there. So really, really expensive stick. But if you guys ever get a chance to try that and you have the money for it, make sure you pick that up and try it, I guess. Or keep it for collecting, I guess. But over the summer, guys, make sure you pick up some Cigar Aficionado, join and subscribe to it. Really great magazine to read. Find yourself some good books. This is a great book, The Ultimate Cigar Book, 4th edition by Richard Charlton Hacker. The Whole History of Cigars. I'm still reading this. Really great book. And then if you're new to cigars, well, the cigar book is great if you're new to cigars as well, so you get a history of how cigars started. But this is also a great book, The Cigar Companion. Just tells you all the different sizes and all the major brands, all the different sizes of cigars, and discusses all of them, and just everything from Cohiba to let's see here, Bolivar, Trinidad, just a lot of different cigars they discuss. A lot of them are Cuban cigars, I noticed in this, but it gives you an idea of all the different sizes and different shades and blends and everything that are out there. So just another page there. This has been a really neat book. This cigar is called Diplomaticos Habana. So a lot of Cuban cigars in this that they discuss. Portuguese as well in there. So really great book. Both of those came from Amazon that my wife picked me up in the beginning of my cigar journey a couple of years ago. So it's still books I'm reading and going through and looking at often. So anyway, great reads for over the summertime if you're wanting to sit out on your porch and read and learn about cigars more. So anyway, but again today, and this is smoking really well now. But again today, I've been smoking the Obrigado Toro 6x52 First Edition boutique cigar by American Viking Cigars and Tim Swanson of Cigars Daily. Very first blend him and his father-in-law did, Jim Campbell. Really good cigar. It's burning very, very well now. Went through in the I'll go ahead and take the band up. But the second third really struggled with having to relight it. First third was great. Second third, having to do some relights. But now in the last third, it's burning very well, putting off a lot of great smoke again. Great taste notes still of some pepper, some nuttiness, earth, raisin. Still getting some like dried fruit or raisin sweetness in this. But overall, really good cigar besides the relights. I think probably my rating right now is going to be probably a 94. I'll continue to smoke this and see how it turns out in the end. I'll let you guys know in the comments how this turned out in the end. But anyway, again, the wrapper is Habano Oscura Luz. It's a dark Habano wrapper, Maduro wrapper. Binder from Nicaragua, filler from Nicaragua. Country of origin, Nicaragua. Smoke time, 60 to 90 minutes. Strength, medium. So, again, a single stick is around 1009. 5-pack, 47.42. Pack of 20, $181.62. So, go to Cigars Daily. Pick up any of Tim Swanson cigars, along with other cigars that are made by other manufacturers on cigarsdaily.com. Make sure you check that website out. A lot of great deals on there. So, anyway, I've enjoyed this time with you guys, and I hope you've enjoyed this today. I will miss you guys during this podcast for the next few months or so, but I'll be back in September with a new season, season 3 of Harper Cigar Lounge. I'll see you guys in season 3, but I'll continue to see you guys in Dropping the Ash podcast that I'll be doing regularly. And I've been wearing my Boston Scally, the sailor cap today. I'll be doing some more reviews on the Boston Scally caps over time, since I have a passion for the Boston Scally caps. But anyway, guys, I'm going to sign off. But keep rocking, keep smoking. And cheers to you guys. Thanks for all your support to me. And again, join my YouTube channel under Harper Cigar Lounge. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave your comments, leave your feedback for me. I'll see you in the comments. I'll make sure I keep in touch with you if you keep in touch with me. And anyway, guys, God bless, and rest in peace, Dio. And you're in our hearts every day. I know I can speak for everybody out there, but you're in our hearts every day. And thank you for what you left behind for us to enjoy and to appreciate. But anyway, God bless all of you guys. And I'll see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.